Today I'm doing my January reading wrap-up, 4 books. The first one is Geekerella. It's a modern Cinderella retelling in sort of a geek setting. The main girl is a geek. She loves this show that's kind of similar to Star Trek, and she writes fan fiction and everything. And the main love interest is a famous actor, but he's also secretly a geek. I really like this, but the main girl, Elle, I think is a little self-righteous and judgmental. Like, not a little, like very self-righteous and judgmental, especially towards the love interest. Like, she doesn't know he's a geek, she only knows him as a famous actor. And she gets mad that he's cast as the main character in the movie remake of her favorite TV show. And she doesn't think that he's suitable for that part. But okay, she's allowed to have her opinion on whether or not she likes him in that part. But the way she handles it is really terrible. She writes these terrible things about him in the blog and trashes him in her blog, even though he didn't do anything bad other than being cast in the movie. And also, she judges him before he's even cast in this role. Before she even has anything on him, she judges him because he's a famous actor. Honestly, I found the spoiled rich heroine from 52 Reasons to Hate My Father more bearable than the heroine in this one. I don't know why. Like, I just felt she was so mean in the way she treated the love interest. Even when he does something as small as he gets himself locked up in the roof accidentally, and she just makes assumptions about how it happened and trashes him on a blog for it. Like, this is, I don't know, I just found it more unbearable than a girl being spoiled. Maybe because, well, the girl who was spoiled has a reason to be spoiled, but this girl, I cannot think of any reason to explain her being so self-righteous and judgmental. Also, this book has one of my least favorite tropes of the troubled relationship between father and son, and the hero having a father that he doesn't really like. But it is a me thing, it's not like a negative point about the book. Aside from that, I like the book for the most part. The one thing I would change is the interaction between the main character and the love interest. Like, they mostly interact through text, and I think I would have preferred it if they interacted face to face and maybe had a bit of a hate to love thing going on. They kind of did, except they didn't know who the other person was, and they were interacting with each other not knowing that they were the person that they didn't like, if that makes sense. I just personally would have preferred them interacting in person than on text. But I get that this is a Cinderella retelling and they had to have a mistaken identity thing going on instead of a full-on hate to love. Anyways, if you like Cinderella and you like geek culture or even Hollywood-based stories, I think you really like this one. I really recommend this for those who love romance and geek tropes and Hollywood tropes and Cinderella. The next one is What the Dead Want. This is a mystery novel and a bit of a horror novel. Gretchen, the main character, her mom went missing a few years ago and her dad is barely at home. So she gets a call from her great aunt Esther handing her down the family home. And Gretchen goes there to find out there's a lot of mystery surrounding the place, and there are ghosts in the place, and she has to figure out what the dead want. I was interested enough in the mystery. I really liked this book, and it also covered what the blacks faced back in the 1860s, 1800s, 1860s. It did a good job covering that and bringing it back to the present. And also, for once, the teenage main heroine did not really annoy me the way the teenage heroines annoy me in romance novels. I think I can tolerate teenage heroines in novels that are mysteries or any other genre, but not romance for some reason. Anyways, getting to the spoiler part. So if you don't want spoilers, you can skip to the timestamp on the screen. Okay. Anyways, going to the spoilers part. There are some twists that I kind of expected, like with George being the bad guy. I kind of expected that. I mean, even at one point when they talked about how he was following his brother James's footsteps, and I'm like, really? Am I wrong about him? But turns out, yeah, he's a bigot and a white supremacist. But one thing that didn't make sense about his character, like even if he's evil and a white supremacist, it didn't make sense that he would kill his own brother's daughter that he raised as his own just for being 1/8 black and white passing. Like, would he? I don't know, maybe he's just that evil, I don't know. Because to me it seems like if he didn't care about her being his brother's daughter, that she had to die because she was 1/8 black, he would also have done so to his son, who is also 1/8 black. Okay, the next book is The Shadow of the Wind. It's a Spanish book translated into English, and it's technically a classic, but I'm not sure why, because it was only published in 2001, and I don't think it's that popular because I can only find 1 or 2 reviews on YouTube. But anyways, I really like the book. I really like the mystery. It's about this boy Daniel, who his father takes him to the cemetery of forgotten books, where he gets to adopt one book to safeguard. The cemetery of forgotten books has books that are forgotten just to keep them in remembrance or something. But anyways, he chooses The Shadow of the Wind by Julian Carrick's, and then he gets interested in the mystery as to why this author is forgotten, and he finds out that someone has been trying to get rid of all of Julian Carrick's book. So he also tries to find out who's doing it and the story behind Julian Carrick and what happened to him and all that. And I was interested enough in the mystery, and I also like the payoff. So overall, I really enjoyed the book. I'm not too sure of the writing style. Okay, for one thing, it's Spanish translated to English, so I think that might be one of the reasons. I don't think the writing was bad. Like, I didn't get turned off from the book because of the writing, but it's just not the writing style that's to my taste. But I think it's mostly because it's translated and the original book was written for the original language. But anyways, I do recommend this book if you like these kind of books. I don't think the writing style is like a turn off or anything. It's just not my favorite. It's not just the writing style. Like I said, it wasn't bad, the writing style, but also the description. I'm personally more averse to description than a regular person. So at least for me, it had a bit too much description than for my liking. But that much is to me. So I don't think that's also like a point against the book for most people. Just to me, I just don't like that much description. And since I'm not the biggest fan of the writing style, the description sort of made it a bit worse. But overall, like I said, it didn't really hinder my enjoyment of the book that much. Like, I still liked it. It's just not like a 5-star, so to speak. The next I have is Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I think next week I'm planning on doing a Agatha Christie wrap-up of my other Agatha Christie books, a few of my other Agatha Christie books, but I'm only doing this one here because this is the most recent one I read, and the others I read like in 2021 or something. So I'm doing this one first, and I will do the others next week. I really like Agatha Christie. I'll get more into her in my next video, but anyway, Death on the Nile is a murder mystery. It's about this heiress, this young heiress, millionaire thing. She gets murdered and they have to solve a murder, and it's a Poirot novel. And also this heiress just got married, and there were a few suspects surrounding the murder. Okay, the thing that I disliked about this book was that it takes quite some time before they get to the murder. And I was like, oh my god, get to the murder, get to the murder. You know, I was just drudging through the initial pages. And I think I took a slow time to read the book right up to the murder part. And then I finished it in the whole day. But that's also because when I go into a murder mystery, I keep anticipating for the murder mystery to happen. Because it's not bad, like the writing isn't bad before the murder. So I think it partly might be because I'm just anticipating the murder mystery. So I'm just like, come on. But for the most part, I love the mystery. And I love the book once the murder happens. The reveal, okay, it's surprising enough. But I think it will be more surprising if it's your first Agatha Christie. Because I feel like Agatha Christie, once you read a lot of books, there are some repeat tropes. So I feel like if you're familiar with Agatha Christie, you might kind of suspect the ending. And I kind of suspected it based on my experience with Agatha Christie, kind of, but I was still like hoping I was wrong. But anyways, I still enjoyed the book and the reveal and how Poirot puts things together. Like even if you suspect who done it, like you still won't be sure and you still enjoy Poirot putting it together. So anyway, I recommend that in the Nile and Agatha Christie for those who like mysteries and murder mysteries. I mean, these are all the books that I'm covering for this video. Let me know what you thought of these books if you've read them. And let me know if you're interested in reading any of them. And let me know if you agree with my opinion. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.